1-4. Our whole goal today is eliminating fractions. How many of you hate fractions? How many of you don't like decimals and grab a calculator for decimals also? How many of you prefer whole numbers to decimals or fractions? Yes, all of us. So with that said, how can I make things look really pretty and get it done very quick and not have to stress about having a calculator every 5 seconds to punch in buttons? We'd like that, correct? So with that said, our goal today is to eliminate all fractions and make the entire equation look absolutely beautiful with all whole numbers. Now, the numbers are going to be larger. They're not going to be nice and small numbers like we would like, but would you prefer larger numbers or fractions? Larger numbers, correct? So, steps to doing this. Steps to eliminating the fractions, locate the fractions. Step 2, find the least common multiple of the denominator. This is also known as the LCD. Step 3, multiply each and every term on every side by the LCD. And step 4, this cancels out the denominator and eliminates the entire fraction. You can all understand this, yay or nay. Now, I printed this out not only to save time, but so that your precious little eyes can be reading that every time you're doing your homework. Do you get me? So I do not expect you to take this and turn this over and say, hey, I'm going to save notes paper today. I'm going to put all my notes on the back of it. No. The whole point is for you to be able to read it as you're doing a problem. So with that said, I have my first problem here. Write it down. 5x over 2 plus 3 is equal to 7 over 5. Talk to me. What do I do? Step 1 says to do what? Locate the fractions. Well, my fractions are going to be the 2 and the 5. Yay or nay? So I want you to locate your little fractions, and now I want you to find your least common denominator between them. Well, how do we find the least common denominator? Well, a least common denominator between 2 and 5 is going to be by doing your lovely little multiplication table. We see 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Then we see 5, 10, 15. What's the first number that they have in common? 10. The 10 is the very first number that they have in common. So what is my LCD here? Your LCD is 10. Now, the whole point of today's lesson is to eliminate the denominator, meaning you want to cancel it out. When you multiply by your LCD each and every term, you are essentially dividing that 10 by 2 and dividing that 10 by 5, because we want to cancel it out. So what we're going to do is we are going to go about distributing this. So normally you would take 10 times 5x in your head, wouldn't you? What I want you to do is I want you to take 10 and divide it by 2. What is 10 divided by 2? 5. Then I want you to bring down the numerator. That's the jump. I don't want you to think, I just want you to drop down the numerator. Do we understand that? Next, what is 10 times 3? There's no denominator there, is there? The denominator is a 1, so do I need to worry about it? So what is 10 times 3? Next, what is 10 divided by 5? 2. Bring down the jump. The jump is the numerator. So do you see that what we've done is we've canceled out things? For those of you who are sitting here saying, Mrs. Yoder, I don't understand this, let's look at this another way. When you multiply by 10, that's 10 times 5x divided by 2, plus 3 times 10 is equal to 10 times 7 divided by 5. Do you see that that's what we did with every one of them? And then I canceled out. 10 divided by 2, the 2 becomes a 1, the 10 becomes a 5. Do we see that? That gives me the 30 is equal to, that's a 1, that becomes a 2, 2 times 7. So we see that they're exactly the same now, yes or no? Do you see I have exactly the same steps? By us constantly taking at 10 and dividing it first by the denominator, I am eliminating that step. Do we see that, yes or no? Does that make sense? Okay? I'm saving you pencil strokes. Does that make sense? Okay, so with this said, how do I know I'm done? Well, what Mrs. Yoder wants you to do, I want you to take and eliminate all parentheses and all fractions. So what is 5 times 5? 25x plus 30 is equal to, what's 2 times 7? 14. I don't want you to solve anything today. I just want you to get it to the point where there's no parentheses and no fractions. Do we understand that? We know how to do this. That's not today's lesson. Today's lesson is eliminating the fraction. Do we understand that? Okay, let's do it again. Six. Okay. Okay, now, step one, do what? Locate your fractions. So what is my least common denominator between 4 and 6?
12.
It is 12. That is your smallest. Do we all understand that? So what am I going to do to this entire thing? I'm sorry? Multiply the entire thing by 12. So what do I do first whenever I distribute that 12? What did we do before? Divided by the denominators. What is 12 divided by 4? 3, and then bring down the jump. What is the jump? Whenever I refer to the jump, what is that? The numerator. Very good. Plus, what is 12 divided by 6? 2, and now what do? Bring down the jump. Is equal to, what is 12 times 8? 96. Now, am I done? Why am I not done?
There's still parentheses.
There's still parentheses. So we're going to take this step by step. What is 3 times 7? 21, and then keep those parentheses. What is 2 times 2? That is 4, is equal to 96. Now, do I still have parentheses? Yes, so what do? Distribute. So what is 21 times x? 21x. What is 21 times 3? Well, 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. So that's 63. Do we see that? Plus 4x is equal to 96. Do I need to go any further? No. Mrs. Yoder's happy. I have nice whole numbers. There's no fractions. There's no decimals. PP.
You have to combine like.
Oh, honey, yes. You would want to finish this. You would want to solve this. But today we're not. Your homework is not to solve the equations. Your homework is to go as far as I'm going right now. Okay? Now, when you see a decimal, how many of you guys want to grab a calculator right away? Okay, we're not going to grab a calculator because you know what a decimal is? It is a fraction. Is it not? So every time you see a decimal, when you're given a decimal, what I want you to do is, using the place value, transform it into a fraction. Yes? So what is the 6? What place value is the 6 in? This is the 10th place. What is the 2 in? The hundredths. And what is the lovely little 5 in? Thousandths. Do we all understand that? So if I wanted to write this as a fraction, what would the fraction be? Over 1,000. Why is it over 1,000? Because the 5 is where the thousandths position is at, correct? The 5 is in the 1,000th place. So therefore, to make it a fraction, it's 625 over 1,000. Now, obviously, you should be able to simplify this down. Many of you are still going to grab a calculator, and I'm going to say, okay. So if you take 625 and divide it by 1,000, it is actually 5 over 8. Do we all understand that? So anytime you see a decimal, you can put it into a fraction. Because if I have an example that looks like this, write it down, please. We don't like decimals, right? So can I translate 0.25 into a fraction? What will that be? It is 1/4. You guys don't even need to do it. You know that one. And how about 0.75? It's 3/4. Again, you guys know that one. And what is 0.5? 1/2. Very good. So now, with all that said, what's the next thing I should do? Find the least common denominator, and what will that be? Between 4, 4, and 2. It's going to be 4. I'm going to take and multiply this entire thing by 4. Do we all see that, yes or no?
Yes.
So, I'm going to take 4 and then do what? Divide it by 4. So what is 4 divided by 4? 1, so I have 1. Do I need this numerator of the 1?
No.
I don't, but I'm going to just bring down the junk completely so we don't have to overthink anything. We just are on autopilot. We're doing the same thing consistently. Go to the next one. What is 4 divided by 4? 1. And bring down the 3x. What is 4 divided by 2? 2, and then bring down the 1. Does everybody see that? Yay or nay? Now, this 1 times 1. Is that going to make any difference there? No. Drop the parentheses. 1 times 3. Minus 3x is equal to 2. I'm done. Could we solve that? Yes. Is that our goal today? No. Do we all understand that? Moving right along. Okay, what about this one? X plus 4 over 10, very good, is equal to 16 over 100. Now, could you very easily just leave this alone and deal with the 1,000, the 10, and the 100? You could, if you wanted to. Could we reduce every one of those fractions? If you reduce it, it's going to give you smaller numbers to deal with, and that would probably be beneficial for you. Now, everybody take their calculator and take 125 divided by 1,000, and what do you get? What is it? Very good. And 4 over 10, we don't need a calculator for that because it reduces down to 2 over 5. What about 16 over 100? Well, 16 divided by 4 gives you 4, and 100 divided by 4 gives you 25. You all see that? So now I need to find my least common denominator between 25, 8, and 5. How could I do that? All else fails, multiply them all together. Totally legal every time. And let's say you don't even want to think about it. This is totally cheating. But it's being resourceful, isn't it? Do you understand that? Okay? Because now I've taken the 8 would cancel out here, and I'm left with 25 times 5 times 1x. Do we see that, yes or no?
Yes.
Go to the next one. What happens there? The 5 cancels out, and I'm left with 25 times 8 times 2 times x plus 2 is equal to? What happens there? 25 cancels, and I'm left with 8 times 5 times 4. Do we all understand that? You don't have to be number smart sometimes to be able to do a problem. Do you see how I totally cheated up here and just did the math like that? Does that work? Yes, it works every time. Are we good to go on this? Okay. Now I want to draw your attention to one last thing here. When the fraction is inside the parentheses, you cannot do it. Okay? If the fraction is on the inside of the parentheses, you have to distribute first to get the fraction out of the parentheses. Do we understand that? So in this case, I'm going to take 2 times x minus, put that over 1, 2 times 3 is 6 over 1 times 5 is equal to 4/7. Now, since I have no parentheses, can I do my trick? Yes. Do we understand that? Now, one other thing I want to talk about on tonight's homework. That's not it. This is number 12 on tonight's homework. This is number 12 on tonight's homework. What's my least common denominator between those two denominators? Okay. What did we do before? What did we do here? Oh, we multiplied them all together, didn't we? Okay? Remember yesterday in class, I talked about every time that x goes, it has to be attached to what? The minus 5, because it's the head and the body. Correct? Do we understand that? So every place that x goes, it's attached to that minus 5. It is a whole different thing. So whenever you see an x minus 5, what you can pretend it to be is a y. Does that make sense? So that means, when in doubt, what would my LCD be? It would be this times the x minus the 5. Do we see that, yes or no? It would be both of them together, which means I'm going to take x times x minus 5 times the entire thing here. Yes or no, folks? Do we see that? Now, when you distribute this, what happens to the x's? This x, oopsie. Okay, thank you. This x and this x cancels out, and I'm left with x minus 5 times the junk of 1. Plus, go to the next one. What cancels out now? The x minus 5, the x minus 5. So I'm left with an x times the junk. Go to the next one. 0 times anything?
0.
0. Did I eliminate my parentheses, or did I eliminate my fractions?
Yeah.
I did. Do we all understand that, yes or no? Okay, now I know that tomorrow you guys are going to have more questions, and clearly I have more slides that I could have gone through. Now, if I look at tonight's homework is not that bad. I'm going to pass it out to you quickly so you guys can get to the quiz. Now, if you take a gander at problems 1 through 4, they look extremely similar to the very first few samples that I did. It's correct. Problems 5 and 6 look like the decimal problems I did. Problems 7 and 8 look very similar. Now, what's your LCD on number 8? Only a y. Do we all understand that? Turn it over. What's your LCD on number 9? An x. What's your LCD on number 10? An x. How about number 11? Z plus 2. We did number 12. How about number 13? X plus 4. How about number 14? Well, you guys can probably come up with a smaller one than 4 times 12 times 8. Okay? Okay? 24, what? 24x would be your smallest LCD for number 14. Do we all understand that? Okay? Just because you can multiply them all together, it doesn't mean it's a good idea. Okay? And number 15, we already talked about. And number 16, what's your LCD for that? Think about it. You guys can do that. Any questions over tonight's homework? Do not solve the equations. Only eliminate the fraction to make it look pretty. What's my idea of eliminating the fraction? How do you know when you're done? I want no fractions and no parentheses. Okay? Are we all good on this? Okay, everybody understands what I want out of them tonight. Put your homework aside for now. Get out a sheet of paper, and you guys are going to take your quick quiz. When you are done with your quick quiz, what do you need to be doing? Your homework. Any questions? Excelente.